This program is called Logic, and basically each one of these little lines across the screen is a different instrument in the orchestra, or different articulation of an instrument. So, to give you an example, I can get very specific. Like I have violin trills. Let's see. Let's see. Flute.
These sound so real. Are they're actual instruments?
Yes, it's live recordings of players actually playing on the instruments. And what's really cool, that kind of shows you the difference between samples and MIDI, is there's a recording that is triggered in between each note that I play of that instrument switching note to note. So it's not just, it doesn't just sound digital. It's, you actually hear all of the stops and the fingering in between. So if you listen really close to this, let me see. You can hear the little blips and things in between. Let's see, I think it might be easier to hear in the clarinet.
Now, in terms of the intensity of the sound you're playing, it depends on how hard you hit the keys?
Yes, it plays pretty much however I play.
And then you were showing me this thing on the left of your keyboard that you use up. What does that do?
Oh, this is a mod wheel. And so what this does, it can control crescendos and decrescendos. Let me see, like, say for the timpani. Let's see, if I want to do a timpani roll, I can use this. If I want to, you know, make it crescendo, I can... Oh, the strings, even though Will's going to be doubling all of this to make it very, very real. Let me see. The mod wheel works for that. You can control it like that.
Yeah, you were showing me slides, and so talk about the slides.
So if I play the notes very lightly, depending on how lightly I play it, it'll either connect the two like this. So. If I play it very lightly, it will slide in between the notes. So, or
wow.
I can even get it to glissando, like slowly do it if I do it really lightly. Hold on.
So, how did you come up with all of these instruments for this CD? Like, did you...
I over the past couple of years, I've just started collecting all the sounds that I know that I like in particular types of music, and I'll have pretty much, I now just have one giant template that has everything that I like to use. And this is my, I call it giant orchestral template. So for anything epic and big, it has most everything that I like to use. And so... way better to have a lot more tools than you need and be able to pick and choose from all that. And so that saves time, because what takes the most time out of anything is picking all of your sounds, and that can take days sometimes, and so saves a lot of time to just have it.
So you basically started out with I recorded a piano on a piano track.
So the way I started all of the arrangements is I just laid it out on the piano, just kind of the general sound of the arrangement, and I would, if there was a big flourish, maybe that was going to eventually be in the flutes, I would still play it in the piano, and then I keep all of that I played in the session, and so I'll go back and listen to what I played in the piano, and then I'll expand it to the rest of the orchestra, and I can take stuff out of the piano and add it here or there, or leave it in and double it on the other instruments.
So by the end, when you finish the orchestration, how much of the piano will still be left?
It really depends on, gosh, it really is piece by piece. I would say typically about 30 to 40% of the piano stays in the piano.
Okay.
Especially with if it's a more theatrical approach to the arrangement, a lot of the time it's kind of piano driven anyway. But the more the bigger and more giant and epic it gets, the more you pull the piano, because the piano tends to make it sound like a smaller ensemble sometimes, which is interesting. Right now I'm in the middle of scoring the part that comes after the big swell, and it's there's always one slower part in each, or slower part to orchestrate in each tune, and right now I'm kind of in that place where it's like, okay, what needs to go where so it doesn't sound too big or too heavy or too full. So I'll play you what I have right now. Oh, hello, loud. 1 second. It's all kind of mushy right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to tie it all together, so I'm just going to push forward. After I play in a section that, after I play it in the way I like it, I can tell it to lock what I played in. I can tell it to lock exactly to the beat in case what I played is a little bit off. But a lot of the times when you're trying to make something sound real, you don't always lock it into the beat, because if you have a live ensemble of players, part of what makes it sound live is that it's not exactly locked in all the time. So,
are there certain instruments that you try to do that with?
Yeah, a lot of the time I will lock in any moving lines, any fast-moving lines, just to make sure it doesn't sound sloppy. Like, a lot of the strings I'll lock in. Things that you want to be careful about locking in are percussion, like glockenspiel and some drums and things, because that starts sounding really digital when it's played perfectly. Right, what I was just playing is some pizzicato strings, and I locked that in just so we could really hear the beat there.
So basically, you hear a line that you want to put in there, and then you test which instrument sounds the best.
Yes.
For that, and then I mean, there's a certain type of instrument that you're looking for, but
right.
Just what gives you the best sound.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right now, I feel like the mid-range of this feels really nice, but I feel like it's missing something at the bottom, and I don't know if that's like an actual bass, if it's string bass, because every time I keep putting in a sustained line, it just sounds muddy. It doesn't sound like it's flowing. It doesn't sound like it's moving. So I'm trying to figure out how to put movement down low without it just parking there for a whole note. So that's where I am right now.
Lovely.
The crash sounded good.
I thought so.
Yeah, good idea. That was good.